Hello, myself Sunil. This is the 47th part basically of the PhD. So one of the person told that World Bank basically has done the mistake that basically everybody knows. In this basically the software industry basically is not supposed to enter. That is also correct. Otherwise basically it's a World Bank basically they have the full power. So they basically will blacklist the resume, blacklist the mobile number, blacklist I don't know what they will add other than basically blacklist the Aadhaar card number. What else basically they will find? They will blacklist it. Why? Because you found the error of World Bank basically. So mostly people basically don't prefer the error finding of the World Bank basically. But this is the error basically. Yeah. Even basically you can't track because you don't know, the software industry don't know that if condition is created from 1,000 cities, the all the user controls basically are created from 1,000 cities, then how basically you will find the error? That is the main thing. So one of the person told that how basically this is going to be tested. If condition is created by 1,000 cities, so how this 1,000 cities is going to be tested in the if condition basically, because it's not tested and you have sent the entire creation in the universe basically. So that's the mistake basically, big mistake you have done basically. It's not small mistake, it's a huge mistake basically. So that's mistake basically was done by World Bank basically. So World Bank basically is only supposed to suffer. Why the world will suffer? But World Bank has created by sorry World Bank has created the world, so by default world will suffer. So that's basically the person who created the World Bank. That's his basically look of basically that he was supposed to take care of this everything basically. If somebody might have tracked this, na basically the person basically is coding through for loop basically is not doing the while loop. If this product was created, then at least basically the something basically might have been tracked basically, that if condition जैसा कुछ है basically. But internally product basically has not created basically. They might have created Microsoft product. The person basically who is working in the Microsoft, so they will do the investment in Microsoft. The person basically is working in the Java, so they will do the investment in the Java basically. The person basically is working in the PHP, they will do the investment in PHP area. But detailed investment project product basically has not created. So again back to the our topic. So see the arguments. Return is the keyword basically, which will return the data. So if you will echo this function and the argument, it will return a plus b. It will return a plus b basically. But here basically it might not. So you can just imagine strike basically is there. Strike has been used basically. But this type of thing basically never be used basically. This type of thing basically never used basically. Why? Because it's very dangerous basically. If it will convert to some logical error basically, then it will create, because each and every stuffs are basically connecting to the real world basically, real physical areas it's connecting. So always basically do the programming where basically you are 100% confidence basically. But the PHP has created that basically. There might be some reason basically. Without any reason basically nobody creates the stuff basically. But this PHP have to check basically. This thing basically which is written, this PHP have to check. Strike thing basically PHP have to check. PHP company have to check that basically. one of the person told that, yeah, in function basically, why the written thing basically is compulsory? Then it's the syntax basically. One of the person told the why function basically, without function basically we can't work basically. So set of arguments basically are there, set of business basically are there, business logics. When basically you do the 1 lakh line coding basically, that time basically it's very difficult to handle the stuff basically. That time basically set of blocks basically are created. For example, one person told that why basically the pin code system basically came in India. Indira Gandhi basically used the pin code system basically. Why they used the pin code? Why they created the pin code system? Because the system basically is supposed to be good thing basically. That's why it's easy to handle. Vadodara pin code. In Vadodara basically the area pin codes are there basically. So it's easy to identify the area basically. Other than the name. So one of the person told that then basically why you have given the name basically. If pin code basically, if the from name basically the things was going to work, then basically why you created pin code. Then one person told that basically if you have created pin code basically, then why you created the name. So these all are questions basically, because this is actually repeating basically. This everything is basically, one person told that if you give the address like this, that this only pin code, and Vadodara basically we will not add, or basically we will add only Gujarat basically then. But in Gujarat basically many cities are available, and within cities basically the pin codes are given. So that's the question basically. So one of the person told that means you want to say the one pin code basically might not be repeating to the entire India. So that's the question basically. There might be some repeating basically. I am 100% sure basically. There might be some repeating pin code basically. But the name might not be repeating or might be repeating. That also basically the question. So one of the person told that is it possible that your pin code basically might be changed? So one of the person told that unique database basically is there of the pin code. If you will enter the duplicate pin code, the government will track that. अरे भाई तूने duplicate pin code डाला है. So system tracking is there always basically. Array thing also basically we have discussed. What is array basically? That also basically, then also basically we will say array is a special variables that can be hold many values basically under a single name. So array basically is that basically we have already saw, but this was a definition basically. Practically thing basically we have already saw basically everything, but this is a definition basically, because in exam basically nobody will ask the practical stuff basically. Only basically you have to answer the definitions only basically. If you want to clear the exam basically you have to use the definitions only basically. So array basically are, an array is a special variable that can hold many values under a single name, and you can access the value referring on the index number, right? Through index name basically you can refer the array basically. So arguments are, these all are the arguments. Working with array: create array, access array, update array, add array, remove array, and sort array, and sorting array. That means you can, array basically you can say it's like a database basically. In database you can create the row. In table basically you can create the row. You can access the row. You can update the row. You can add the update the field. You can remove the. You can update the field value basically. You can remove the field value. You can delete the record. You can sort the data also. That's exactly same like table basically you can say. It's a table basically you can say. So in next video basically we are going to create more on this topic.